Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is MTGGhoulDude and day 2 of revealing the spoilers from Magic Con Chicago. They gave us some of the, probably some of the most insane things I've probably seen from a Modern Horizons set. So let's go on ahead and get into it. Starting off with It That Heralds the End. For 1 and 1 colorless mana, so 1 generic and 1 colorless, it's a 2/2. And colorless spells with mana value 7 or greater cost 1 less to cast. Pretty self-explanatory. Other colorless creatures you control get +1/+1. This is gonna be like a $5 uncommon, if you want to ask me, because artifacts are colored most of the time. They're colored creatures. They don't have a color identity, and even we still have the Zendikarian Devoid cards. Ring a bell for anybody? I actually have a Muldrotha deck that I built and used as my Eldrazi deck. I haven't tweaked it in a while, so I might need to look into doing that. But I think this is going to be a very, very, very popular card in colorless decks, especially since it's just 2 mana, which that's a Soul Ring. So tap your Soul Ring, you got a cost reducer and an Anthem. That's a 2/2. It's not bad. It's better than what almost all the zombie players are getting nowadays. And then they revealed a new Emrakul, a strange new one. And I'm feeling like all the Eldrazi Titans are going to get a new card. What do you guys think? Emrakul, the World Anew for 12 generic. Oof. It's a 12/12, and it has a lot of text on it. But the first one says, whenever you cast a spell, gain control of all creatures target player controls. So instead of just gaining their turn, you're getting everything, all their stuff. It has flying, protection from spells, so it can't be targeted by anything, and from permanents that were cast this turn. So that's pretty odd. I mean, you can flash stuff in, so that could be a problem. Then when he leaves the battlefield, sacrifice all creatures you control. Wow. But here's the kicker, or the madness. You can discard this and just pay 6 generic and have it onto the battlefield doing the exact same thing, which that's crazy all by itself. Then we get a new legendary creature, a Johnny, just a creature, a Johnny Nakado Pariah for 1 and a generic and a white. It's a 1/2. When it enters the battlefield, create a 2/1 white cat warrior creature token, which could possibly symbolize his brother, because his brother was stronger than him. Whenever 1 or more other cats you control die, you may exile, then return him to the battlefield transformed under his owner's control. And this is a flip card. And what does he flip into? A Johnny Nakatl Avenger. It's a 3 loyalty start out, and for a +2, you can put a 1/1 counter on each cat you control. So already really playing into those Ren and Siri builds. For 0, you can create a 2/1 cat warrior creature token. When you do, if you control a red permanent other than a Johnny, he deals damage equal to the number of creatures you control to any target. Huh. A Johnny deals it. Huh. -4, each opponent chooses an artifact, a creature, and an enchantment, and a planeswalker from among the non-land permanents they controlled and sacrifices the rest. That's a lot like his, no, that's that one Gear Hulk, the white Gear Hulk. But yeah, anyways, let's go on ahead and move on to the next one. We got a reprint of Layla the Blade Reforged. If you already know what this one is, you can just skip over it. For 2 generic and a red, it's a 2/2 with haste. Whenever it attacks, exile the top card of your library. You may play this card this turn. Whenever 1 or more cards are put into exile from your library and or your graveyard, put a +1/+1 counter on her. Flare of Cultivation for 1 and 2 green. It is a sorcery. You may sacrifice a non-token green creature rather than pay this spell's mana cost. Search your library for up to 2 basic land cards. Reveal those cards. Put one into the battlefield and one into your hand. It's a cultivate, but for you can pay 0 for it and sack a creature instead, which is not bad in my opinion. Then they have this alternate border, or this alternate art borderless copy. Then they're going to reprint Priest of Titania, which Elf decks didn't need help with. But now they're probably going to, I think, do they already have Priest of Titania? Hold on, let me check this, because now I'm curious. Because if it's, I mean, you guys can let me know down in the comments below, but I really just want to know personally if it's modern legal. It was in Urza Saga, so it is banned in modern. Priest of Titania is actually banned in modern. Are they gonna unban it? Is this news? Is this something that's gonna break waves? I mean, the logos are a little different. No, they're the same. But yeah, that's just wild. And then buy, sell off all the ones you got now. Scurry of Gremlins for 2 generic, a red and a white. It's an enchantment whenever it enters the battlefield. Create 2/1/1 red goblin creature token. Gremlin, not goblin, gremlins. Then you get an amount of energy equal to the number of creatures you control. So if you have like 20 creatures, there you go. And then you can pay 4 energy at any point in time for any amount, multiple times. Creatures you control get +1/+1 and gain haste until end of turn. It's actually quite neat. I kind of like the energy seeping in back its way back in. Like it's not gonna, mess up everything all over again. Psychic Frog for a black and a blue. Okay, I did not have my head turned the right way, so I thought this was not a frog. It is a frog. It's a 1/2 frog. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player or planeswalker, draw a card, discard a card, put a +1/+1 counter on it, exile 3 cards from your graveyard. It gains flying until end of turn. Oh, that's interesting. So you could just exile 3 and it feeds itself, kind of, sort of. Keep drawing a bunch of cards, throw into a graveyard, give it flying, make it draw a card, make it bigger. Pretty neat. I like that. But they're also reprinting the the Shocklands with new art, and I'm not digging it. I mean, yeah, they're nice and it's good for reprints, but I'm not digging the art. Me personally. They're cool looking though. I do enjoy some nice art. That Polluted Delta is a lot better though. Windswept Heaths. Wooded Foothills. And here are some of the basics that I wanted to bring up. Here's a Kozilek and the Emrakul on the swamp. And I'm sure these will be like, the full arts that you can only get in every 3 packs. Ulamog, I want to say. You never know. But they are also bringing us snow-covered wastes in case you wanted to play an all snow-covered deck and you're playing colorless. For some god-awful reason, you decide to play snow in colorless. Whew. But they're also doing alternate art fetch lands. I really like that one. Kind of gives me like Assassin's Creed vibes. Kind of, sort of. That one's more like Hour of Devastation. Something like that. This is the city outside of it. And that's like Lost Caverns. But you can also get her in a retro frame, a borderless, and a serialized version, which is something they're bringing back. Oh, yeah, and then you get your extended frames and your shock lands. I mean your fetch lands, and then you get the retro frame. And then they're doing, I'm assuming that this will be for the etched and all that good stuff. They're going to be doing all kinds of etched stuff. But that is all the time we have for today for Modern Horizon 3 spoilers. I'm sure there's going to be some more coming out by the time this video gets out there. But I wanted to get this to you guys to see what you guys had, what your guys' opinion on it was. But that is going to be it for today, and I will see you guys tomorrow with the last one I'm doing, that is Assassin's Creed. But I will see you guys next time in the graveyard.